Alright, today I'm going to do a quick dial-in on the Friedman BE100, and I'm going to also, at the end of the video, shoot it out against my Splawn Nitro with KT88s. So what we're going to do is skip the clean channel. I'm trying to save time on the video because nobody wants to watch videos past 15 minutes anymore. So what we're going to do is just quickly go through all of the different features and knobs and all the stuff on this amplifier. And my goal is I'm going to try to make this sound as nasty as I can. I want to get the most gain, the most aggression, and a tone suitable for my tastes anyways out of this amplifier. We're going to start with the overdrive pedal off. When I turn it on, you will see a picture of it right here. And we'll use the mud killer because I'm just really familiar with what that pedal does. So we'll go ahead and use that with the amp. So as you can see, everything's at noon. And I'll be messing with the switches, and real quick, where's the freaking manual at? All right, so real quick, I'm just going to tell you what these switches do. So the S means gain structure. Switch provides 3 choices overall gain on the BE100. That's that switch right there. And let me turn the page here. Yeah, story time on Tone Wars. Nice, huh? Okay, so, and then the C45 switch, it's a custom voicing switch on the BE channel, and it basically says turn it on, and if you like it, leave it on. Oh, very in-depth. And the SAT switch, primarily designed to be used with the BE or C45 mode to add gain, compression, and saturation. All right, good to know. So that's basically the the gist of the switches I'm going to be using on this thing. So let's go ahead and start with everything at noon, and I'm just going to keep turning knobs and flicking switches until I get this thing to sound at least good enough where I think as soon as I boost it with the overdrive, maybe it'll kick into a better gear and get really nasty. So here we go. Alright, sounds like we got enough gain here. I'll mess with the EQ, and on the back are some other switches. And let me see what order they're in. I got them on my notes here. I'm in a rush here because I got to go to work. So FAT, C45, and SAT switches. Alright, so let's mess with those real quick before we mess around with the EQ knobs. So I'm going to start with the FAT, then I'm going to go to the C45, then the SAT switch. Okay, so I'm going to also kick the boost on. There's a pedal, foot switch with this amplifier, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the boost and see what that does. I'm pretty sure it just gives me another gain stage, which is definitely what this amp's needing right now. Okay, had to crank the bass a little bit more, scoop the mids just a hair, and the treble's, you know, right here at 5, and so was the presence. I find that if you go any further than that, you start getting that typical Marshall clang, and it's a little like, whoa, you know, so, and then you know, this amp doesn't have a buttload of gain, so, I mean, you could probably just crank the gain all the way up, and I have the boost switch on. Again, I'm a metal player, so, you know, any of you Friedman fanboys that are watching this right now going, you don't need that much gain. Well, I don't play, you know, dad rock. So let me play some other stuff here. Hang on. Alright, I think that's as nasty as I'm going to get this amplifier without using an overdrive. So let's go ahead and turn the overdrive on now and see what it does. Alright, so with the C45 switch in the up position, that's where I like it best. When it's down, it's a little bit on the round side. So I was noticing that. I don't know which way's on or off on this amplifier, because when you push the switches in the down position, everything's on. So I'm going to assume down means on and up means off. We live in bizarro land. Alright, so look at the panel. This is basically how I have it dialed in to sound best to my taste anyways. I mean, sounds good to me. So let's go ahead and do a couple riffs on it and see if I have to do any fine tuning if necessary, and then we'll shoot it out with the Splawn. Alright, so settings on the pedal. I have the tone knob at around 4 o'clock to give it a little more bite, because this amp's a little on the soft side on the top end, so it needed a little help to give it that edge that I like. And then of course I have the post gain, which is the output all the way up, and pre-gain I got at 9 o'clock, and then probably around between 10 and 11 o'clock on the fat skinny knob. And the compression is off, because this has got some pretty good compression, so I'm not using the compressor in the pedal. Alright, so let's just mess around with some riffs, and I'll fine tune it if I need to after that. Then we'll shoot it out with the Splawn Nitro. Alright, I think that's as good as it's going to get. So let's go ahead and shoot it out with the Splawn Nitro. I'm going to turn the camera off that's associated with, you know, the settings here, so that when I switch to the Splawn Nitro, you can see it at the bottom of the screen right over here. So if you don't see the Splawn Nitro, that means I'm playing the Friedman BE. If you see the Splawn Nitro, that means I'm playing that. So let's go ahead and compare the two with just some basic riffs, and we'll see what's going on. All right, so before we get started, let's just hear how both of these amps sound without the overdrive pedal. Alright, so between the two without the overdrive pedal, the Splawn Nitro definitely is meaner, tighter, and more responsive. I think both of them sound good, but there's still a little bit of that flubbiness that needs to be cleaned up that's in the Friedman. It's not a bad thing, it just depends on your taste, but for me, I would by far prefer the Splawn Nitro without the overdrive. So let's hear how they compare with it on. And just as a reminder, I'm in the HBE mode in the Friedman. I mean, it's as hot and as aggressive as I can get it. So here we go. Okay, so I think with the overdrive pedal, I still prefer the Splawn Nitro over the Friedman. It still has more aggressiveness to it, and just suits my taste more. But the Friedman definitely tightened up and got a lot more responsive, and it responded very well to the overdrive pedal as well. So, you know, again, keep in mind I'm a metal player or modern prog metal player. I don't know. I'm a crappy guitar player on YouTube, whatever. And for my taste, I just prefer the Splawn Nitro, okay? But the Friedman's definitely holding its own pretty good as well. So if you like that softer top end and a little more of that looser low end or openness that Friedmans have, then you might prefer that. So it just depends. So I'll do two riffs. I'll do one of mine. I'll do my Night Terrors riff, and then I'll also do something from George Lynch. I'll do Unchain the Night on both amplifiers and just see how they compare. Then we'll do a quick mix at the end, and we're out of here. So now let's do a quick mix between both of these amps and see what they sound like in a mix compared to each other, and see how they compare to each other in a full mix. So between the two, I did prefer the Splawn Nitro over the Friedman, but the Friedman did do pretty well. I just thought the Splawn Nitro had a little more texture, and it was a little easier for me to play. So, you know, just bear that in mind with when you weigh my opinion in with these two amplifiers. I think the Friedman did better than I thought it would up against the Splawn, that's for sure. So it held its own pretty good. Yeah, so just, you know, tell me what you think in the comments, which one you like better. And there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, they're both great amplifiers. It's just whatever one works best for you, that's the one you pick. All right, so I just want to thank all my subscribers and my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate you guys. And if it's your first time here and you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I come out with a new episode or go live. Just so everybody knows, all the audio that you hear on my videos is unprocessed. There's no EQ, there's no compression, there's nothing. It's all straightforward, raw tones that you're getting. I don't even throw an EQ on the mics on my mixer. It's all straight up the middle. So just so you know. And one more thing before we go, if you want to support the work that I do here, because believe it or not, YouTube does not pay that much at all. So any support that I can get from you would be greatly appreciated. It really does go a long way. Just join my Patreon for a couple bucks a month. I mean, for a couple bucks a month, you can get a ton of videos, shootouts, tutorials, amp dial-ins, and all kinds of other stuff. And we have a lot of fun here. We do community jams. We also do riff challenges where people send me videos of them playing their solos on my songs. And they also send me videos of them doing the riffs that are in the riff challenge. We do those once a month each. And you get to be on the channel and get featured on the channel and just have some fun. So if you want to join the community, please feel free to do so. All right, well, I got a lot of great stuff coming up. I'll see you on the next one.